Hello everybody, Robin here at Toadstool Tarot, and I am sharing with you today the most stunning deck. I haven't bought any decks in quite a while, but I recently found 3 or 4 online that I really liked and decided since my birthday is coming up, I would treat myself to these as pre-birthday presents, but I couldn't wait until my birthday to share them. So I'm sort of straddling them through the month of August, one at a time, because I probably won't have any more to share for quite a while. Anyway, this one is called the Unifying Consciousness Tarot, written by Lori Lyttle or Lyttle, illustrated by Leo Scopacasa. And I saw it on, it was presented by Levi on, let me think, I think his channel is called Masculine Intuition Readings or Masculine Intuition Tarot, I forget. Anyway, he had just returned from a vacation in Canada, and I believe that he was visiting Toronto and discovered this artwork in a little gallery there, a gallery that represents Leo Scopacasa's artwork. And this is a truly amazing deck in a little magnetic flip box. And I think it was put out by the gallery. I'm not sure. It's got a guidebook in it, which is quite amazing and well worth reading. It's more than just simple keywords. The interpretations are fairly in-depth, and there's a couple of very interesting, what's the word I'm looking for? Essays at the beginning. The box has some sort of foil lamination accents on it that are reflective in blue. Here we have the booklet, which is nice. There's no pictures per se in the book, but it's pretty substantial. It's got some spreads in the back, and it's about 150 or so pages. There's a card inside that says, Unifying Consciousness Tarot, may you be guided by the unifying consciousness of love. The cards came in a little plastic band, which is nice. The box was shrink wrapped, but no additional shrink wrap inside. Look at this beautiful illustration. So there's a blue effect to the box. I don't know if, unfortunately my lighting is crap here, so I don't know if you can see the inside of the box. See, do I have a little flashlight or something that I can show you the pattern inside? Oh, I'm so disorganized. I can't seem to find my headlamp. Oh, here it is. And you can see this sort of like endless blue rose pattern inside the interior of the box, which is quite beautiful. Anyway, The cards themselves have matte blue edging, and there's actually a little bit of sparkle in there that may or may not show up on camera. Let me grab that light again. I don't know if you can see. There's a little bit of very subtle sparkle in there, but it's not metallic edging. It's just a light blue edging. And it's a nice size deck. The cards are same size as regular tarot deck. And I was shocked actually to find this on Levi's channel because we don't share similar tastes at all. And I think he sort of struggled with a handful of the cards in this deck, but I liked almost every single one. Again, I was going to say if you can see, there's a reflective metallic kind of foil embellishment here. There's a mandorla with a blue rose in it and a little gold foil border. The cards themselves are on the stiff side. I'm not fond of the card stock. It's like, what do you call it, rose petal finish, which I've never been a fan of because they tend to clump. This glides a little better than some, but you can see they're sort of dragging a little bit. And the color, I was struck by the color and the artwork in this deck. It's a little unusual for me. It's really what I would call almost psychedelic art, or very futuristic. The cards have a very simple little font at the bottom and numbers. A lot of them aren't labeled, just have a little number in the corner, which I kind of like. And the colors are just stunning. So we're almost 8 minutes in, so let me get on with these images. You have here the Fool, the Magician. Some of these are not typical what you'd think of as Rider-Waite-Smith style images, but they do tend to be fairly readable. A lot of them are sort of like portraits or sort of pip style cards, but they're more than that. There's usually some semblance of a scene or story going on in the background of most. Here's the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, and most of them have symbols that are readily identifiable with the card. The Lovers. I apologize for my lighting. I hope you can see these. I hope the camera is picking up the colors because in good light they're bright and stunning and vivid and just quite amazing. And I actually, if it weren't for the sort of clingy texture for shuffling, I think I would quite like the texture of these because they feel almost like pastel artwork would or something. Chariot, Strength. Some of them have animals on them, and I'm not big on animal depictions in cards, but somehow I don't mind these as much. They're very stylized. The Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, Hanging One, Death, this actually is kind of consistent with the Green Menagerie deck that I just got that looks sort of like each card was done by a different artist. There is some similarity, but there's so much variety in here that I'm not sure if it reads as a single artist's work. The Devil. The Tower. Now, I believe I had to order this through the gallery in Canada. And the best way to find it is probably just Google the name Unifying Consciousness Tarot. And I believe the gallery name should come up. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. Judgment. They have a lot of this sacred geometry in the cards as well. The World. Oops, did I miss one? Judgment, the World. And then there's a 22nd major added called Activation. Now for the Wands, you have Ace of Wands. They did change the names of the court cards to get away from gender. You'll see. Two of Wands. 3. And I don't believe there's any confusion over the fact that these are wands, even though it doesn't say wands. You've got the number 3, and the wands are clearly identifiable on the card. 4. Oh, this is a stunningly bright card. The 5 of Wands. Here we've got a Griffin on the 6. 7. 8. Feel free to pause at any time. 9. 10. You see the wands have these pyramids featured on all of them. Also, there's a slight embossing around the mandorla on the back of the cards. You can feel it. Oh, and the quartz are souls for pages, Soul of Wands. Spirit for knights. I'm hoping I can readily remember them. Not all the knights have horses in them. Heart of Wands for the Queen, which works for me. And the Mind of Wands for the King. Ace of Cups. 2. 3. This new rash of decks I've been buying just has some of the most beautiful art in my collection. It's very, very different from what I'm used to in mass market decks. This is obviously an independent deck. 6. Can't remember the name of this geometric figure. So these images are somewhat surreal or subconsciously daydreamy. But I love the bright, vivid, psychedelic colors. Soul of Cups. We have the typical fish in the page cup. Here's another horse, the Spirit of Cups for the Knight. There's a seahorse with wings for the Heart of Cups. And a turtle or tortoise, looks like a painted turtle, for the King or Mind of Cups. And we have swords, and all the swords have this eye image on them. Here we have the Eight of Swords, and I love the fact that her head's in a bird cage. It's very much like the typical Eight of Swords, where there's almost a cage of sharp swords around a standing figure. Here, the Nine of Swords, we have piercing a butterfly. And for the quartz, we have birds for swords, which is the air sign, so it makes sense. And a flying bird instead of a horse. Heart of Swords. I'm not sure if that's a stork for the Queen. And it looks like it might be an owl for the King. And then finally the Pentacles. As I'm looking through the camera, this seems a little bit lackluster. I am hoping, what usually happens when I record these and look back, that the camera has applied some sort of lighting to brighten up the images and make them brighter and sharper. These images actually make you think, and to some degree they're sort of simplistic, but they seem very symbolic as well. We have a cube in the Pentacles. So here's the page, which is a bunny with a surrealistically enormous eye. Here's the spirit, the knight. This looks like a sort of a mechanical horse or a Trojan horse. I can't quite make it out. The queen. And the king. I really, really love this deck. And, oh, it's actually not a bad shuffler, considering the card stock. It'll take me a while to get a good shuffle to this. But let's have a look at a few sort of laid out here. These really are quite gorgeous. If you like color, this could be a deck for you. It was kind of expensive. Oh, I also should note it has a really pungent chemically smell to it. I don't notice it unless I hold the deck right under my nose. And I hope that will fade over time, but it's not really bothersome. I noticed when I got this online that it was listed at what seemed like a pretty high price, but it was Canadian dollars. It's like, I think it was over 100 Canadian dollars, and I think when I bought it with the shipping and everything, it came to somewhere between 60 and 80 something. I think it might have been 80 US. But for an indie deck, I think it's well worth it. It's not often that you get colors or imagery of this quality. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at the Unifying Consciousness Tarot. And I hope to see you all again soon. Bye-bye.